Okay, so I feel like I've got everything that I need for this cue. I've gone through, like I started off by watching the cue, setting markers on places that I thought were important, things to hit, kind of giving myself ideas of like, oh yeah, I could play this emotion here, that sort of thing. It's also a great way to just learn the scene. Then I went through and I was trying to crack each beat of it and basically give myself something for each beat of the scene, something to sort of hook onto. After that, I listened through. I made my little checklist on a sticky note of what I wanted to do to beef up each one of those beats. I have now gone through that entire checklist. So now this is where I'm going to watch the entire thing front to back. And a lot of times what happens is you kind of notice that some parts sound way fuller than other parts. Like I got really excited about one particular part of this cue, and therefore that part sounds amazing. But there's another part that doesn't sound like it fits, right? So this is just kind of a final quality check before I print an MP3 to send off to the director to get his notes. So without further ado, I'm just gonna watch the entire thing. And I'll take notes after that. I'm going to sort of ride the... I'm pausing it again because I just realized I remembered that the audio that came on the video is pretty hot. So I'm going to be sort of riding the level of the audio just because it peaks a lot.
Tanner, you and Kid take me now. I got it.
Okay, cool. So this is why I've just noticed this about myself. I need this part of the process, this kind of watching the entire thing at once. Because the thing that I noticed about that was I love this, what I've done with the second half. I'm really happy with where that is. The first half, not so much. It's like you get, I mean, probably not generally, but I know for me, I get better at scoring the scene. Obviously, the more that I work with it, and I've worked with it more when I get to the second half of it. So therefore, the second half sounds really good to me. The first half, not there yet. Well, actually, more like once the fight starts off, it's not hitting uh, uh, exactly the way that I wanted to. There's also one thing in the sneaking thing. I had this stutter maker thing that I didn't like the sound of. I'll play it for you, and you'll hear it for yourself. It's not adding anything, so I'm just gonna delete that. But yeah, okay. So I think this first sneaking up bit is working for me. Okay, this part isn't hitting the way that I want it to. I like the timing of it. Something's missing. And what I'm going to do is I want to compare this a little bit with how things look in the second half, or how things are sounding in the second half. So I'm going to take a look at this. Really hollow, doesn't it? Or like really empty. I don't know off the top of my head why. So I'm doing is I'm zooming out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of play back some moments that I think sound good. So this part's big and I like it. So what I want to do is I kind of want to compare which color bars, what instruments are happening in this section that are not happening in this section, and see if I can fill it out. So for instance, there's no toms here, the octopus drums. There's no daiko over here. There is Godzilla hits, but I think I can probably do more. Can probably have a little more of a rhythm there. What else? There's no violins. Maybe I can throw in some violins to help that out. I'll check on my synths. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So I want to add daiko toms and that sort of thing. I think the brush drums on their own aren't giving it enough body. Let's take a look at, listen to just the percussion. Yeah, it's all high. I need to fill out the frequency spectrum here. So first thing I'll do, let's get these so here we go. So something pretty simple. My left hand was just keeping up with that, da, 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 da. And then my right hand was sort of doing basic eighth notes and then 16th note fills every 2 bars. So I'm going to go ahead and quantize that. Oops. I'm going to get really fancy and I'm only going to 16th quantize the fills. Keeping that. these. Let's get those. Those. Let's move them over. Great. Now. Okay. Now, right now I like that my big boomy roomy Godzilla hits aren't happening as much because I'm going to save that for later where they're doing a lot. But I bet I could probably boost some stuff with these short release. And kind of accentuate that bump, 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 bump. I'm gonna try that out. Okay. And quantize that. Now, next, I'm wondering if it's too much of a giveaway that a fight's about to break out if I throw a rumph in here like a but it is so abrupt at this point. Let's take a listen. Yeah, because you kind of see the motion. Check this out. You can sort of see the motion in the frame at this point. So I don't think it would be out of the realm of believability or whatever. It's almost like maybe it would be more subconscious. I don't know. Let's figure maybe a short one of these. That's my long one. Very long one. Also long. Shorter. Let's try that one. Now with these one shots, remember, I only record the MIDI first because I need to line something up that's not the beginning of the note. So I'll want to render it to audio. Can you hear the dogs barking outside? They're good puppers. Okay. Let's get this out. I believe it's gonna hit right about there. Let's Okay, that's less abrupt, I think. I think it does prepare you just enough. I did another thing while I was listening to that. I think the melody of the horns came in too early before, so I just cut out the first instance, and it's only going to play the second time. With that, I'm going to back up and see how this all works with the audio from the film. Missing electronics. That's there's no synths going on here. duh. All right. Well, there is, but I think looks like I tried the 16ths, but I muted them. I want to hear what it sounds like with them again. I like that. I'm gonna keep that. Great. I'm gonna start it a little before this dialogue, and I'm gonna keep going on. I think I got that first fight breakout to a place where I like it.
Out here. Go now.
Similar thing here with the percussion. I think I only have a lot of treble percussion going on in this fill. Sort of this like weird 2-measure limbo. I think it's, where was it? Yeah, this 36 to 37. Sort of filling it out with yeah, I love it. With a tom fill. Let's see, maybe there's a short release Godzilla head I can do to sort of low end fill. Kind of fill out the low end of that. I may not even need those. The toms. He's out of here. Now these bass drum samples are a little loud. I'm gonna turn the gain down on them so they're just kind of not as forward. Okay, I'm gonna back up and let's listen to that with sound.
Tanner, you and Kid take me out. I got it.
Okay. Again, I'm really pleased with the end of this. I had one thing that I think can be stronger, and that's the moment I dropped everything out when Kit shot the guy. I think I just noticed that I cut out all the percussion when he gets shot, and then he falls to his knees, and the percussion starts up, and then we see him fall to his face, and I'm like, okay, the energy doesn't start when he falls there. So let's take a look at that moment. I think I have a feeling that this is my last thing that I want to fix before sending this off. So let's find that moment. Where was that? Yeah, that's right. It was 48 right there. So starting from there. Okay, so I think I want it. Where do I want that the drums to come back in? See, he falls here. And I'm thinking on the fall, I had that little like wow, this sound. I'm gonna put that where when he's on his knees and falls. Right, so kind of note will start there. So I'm just gonna drag this MIDI region over until that MIDI note here starts right where my cursor is. Okay, next, I want the drums to start. This is where the fight's kind of going back in. So, like, what does it sound like if the drums only begin on the downbeat of 52? So what I'll do is I'm just going to chop up these MIDI regions. I'm going to mute them in case I need them later on. Chop this up again. Oh, the Sauce Boys are here. It's another siren. All right, here we go. Let's take a listen to that. Oh, whoops. Ah, check that out. Those weren't the drums. Those were the strings. All right, going up. Red ones are drums. Let's now get that. I'm gonna mute everything so that they come in on measure 52. Here we go, same thing. I gotta do the same thing for the brass, don't I? Well, this is gonna be a little more work than I thought it was to fix this moment, but hey, it'll be worth it. You know what? There's a little synth that's going on there. Wow. I'm just going to keep that running through the whole thing. I don't need that. I'm going to mute that, but I will keep it under that. Remember, 52 is where I want everything running back in. Okay. Is it? Oh, I can't remember which. This is what I want. I'm going to have this hold all the way over. Okay, I need to keep anything from playing in 50 and 51, I think. So I'm going to delete that from my finale. And I'm just going to go through and start cutting out things that aren't synthesizers in measures 50 and 51. So that is going to be those strings, these strings, definitely these strings. I just want to make sure it's a little, the space slap was a little before the beat. So if I cut it, then I would lose that note. Let's take a listen to that. I still have that remnant of the C, B flat, in some of these. So I got to look at my, get rid of 50 and 51, just extend that. And I'm going to keep going, get rid of 50 and 51, extend that. Yep, getting rid of 50 and 51, just extending that. Taking a look down. Let's get rid of 50 and 51. And extend that. And I've already gotten rid of 50 and 51 and extended that. Now, anything else? I think that's it. Now let's take a listen.
Tanner, you and Kid take me out. I got it.
Beautiful. Okay, great. So, I'm feeling like I've got it all. Again, I just kept watching to the end because I'm having a great time watching it. So that's always good when you just can like sit back and just enjoy the film. Okay, so I started this video by watching the whole thing front to back, noticing things that didn't sit right, and I think I have addressed those things. I went back and fixed that. The intro of the first fight scene, and then I also fixed the bad guy that Kit shot that moment. So here we go. This is the last thing I'm going to do with is do one final rewatch, and actually I'll just start a new video.